Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our lecture on international relations theories. It will be a brief introduction of major theories in international relations. So let's go ahead in our video. First of all, we shall talk about realism. Realism is all about power maximization, and it says that state power is the key to the success, and all the human beings are evil and selfish. So this school of thought says that all the human beings are selfish, and they are all bad human beings. This school of thought also discussed the security dilemma and balance of power and need for deterrence against their enemy countries. And this school of thought states that states are rational actors and they don't have any emotions towards, and they do not give any importance to moral values and ethics. And due to security dilemma and to balance the power and to acquire the deterrence, what do the states do? They make alliances like NATO and SCO. And in this preview, we see that world is a dangerous place according to realist school of thought, and therefore there is international anarchy in international system, and every state can fight each other, and there is no universal government or universal framework for controlling the states, and this leads to international conflicts in the world. And this is why that this is because only states and their interests are important according to this school of thought. And this school of thought also says that egoism and power maximization, power politics, violence or brutality, this is all about realism. So let's move ahead to liberalism. Liberalism says that there should be democracy, according to which the people are very important, and there should be rule of law, and law should be supreme, and their institutions are very important according to the liberalism school of thought. It is actually a response to realism that says that institutions should play the key role in democratization of the countries. And it says that instead of power and instead of use of brutal force and violence, reason and logic are more important. And there is a need to peaceful coexist with each other, and there should be no war, and people are very good. There should be free trade, government should have no role in free trade, and there should be international organizations which should control the countries and keep us safe from wars like World War II and World War II. Examples of such organizations can be UNO and European Union. So let's move ahead and see what idealism was all about. Idealism came into play in 1918 after World War One, and it says that realism has failed. Realism has led to the World War One, and we should have ethics and moral values like in our interpersonal relationships. And idealism school of thought created the League of Nations. It led to the idealist approach, led to the creation of League of Nations. However, League of Nations could not protect us from World War II, and rather there were more authoritarian regimes after World War One. And because there are many reasons of League of Nations failure, because US never joined it, and Britain and France were all they were also very inactive. So in 1939, the world was faced with World War II, and we all know what happened in that World War. And after that war, we had liberalism, and liberalism gave us UNO, WTO, and globalization, and interdependence theories. So after that, we are saved from major wars, but there are many conflicts and border skirmishes going on throughout the world. So we shall talk it about later. So next school of thought is Marxism, and Marxism rejects idealism, liberalism, and realism, and it is a economic theory that is actually against the capitalism. And what Marxism says is the society should be classless, and there should be no classes in the society. And it is basically economic theory, and it says that relationship of haves and have nots, owners and workers, and the executives and the laborers is actually exploitative. They exploit the laborers and maximize their profit at the cost of workers, and therefore the workers get alienated to their work. So it basically confers as a system of communism which rejects capitalism as it exploits the workers. And the main argument here is in Marxism has is the no one can have private property, and it rejects liberalism and realism. And it says that WTO, IMF, World Bank, and other such financial institutions are actually exploiting the people. And it gave us the idea of commodity fetishism. Commodity fetishism is all about that life of people is oppressed by economic interest, because we have associated high values to many things which are object things, and they are non-living things, but we have given them too much value to our lives, and the life and all the emotions and all the joys of life are classified according to the financial status of the people. So poor people cannot fall in love with a rich person, and a rich cannot go for a poor person, because due to this division in classes. So this was a very short and brief review of international relations major theories. We shall talk about the theories in our next lectures afterwards. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.